Okay, Financial Math, Grade 12 exam questions, May June 2022, Paper 1. This is question 7 from DBE. Okay, this is the question 7 from DBE. The total is 15 marks. Okay, let's get started on the next slides. Okay, let me get the question again. Question 7 from May June 2022. This is the question 7, okay, from May June 2022. 7.1, okay, how many years will it take for an investment to double in value if it earns interest at a rate of 8.5% per annum compounded quarterly? Okay, this question is 4 marks. Okay, you are not given the initial value and you are not given the final value, but you are told the final value is the double of the initial value. So we are not given the exact value. Okay, we are going to use X. If you are not given the exact value, use X. Now, when you check this question, you can see the person is not depositing a regular amount over a period of time. Okay, so you understand that you are not going to use the future value formula. The formula that you are going to use will be the compound interest formula, okay, because there is an increase. So you are going to use the compound interest formula, this one. Okay, so the initial value, which is P, we are going to use X, okay, and the final, which is A is going to be equal to 2x because you are told it doubles, okay, and the interest is equal to 8.5% per annum divided by 100. This is 0.085, and you are going to divide by 4 because this is compounded quarterly. Okay, so now the question is, how many years will it take? Okay, you have to find n. Okay, so let's plug everything that we have into the formula. Okay, so A is equal to 2x. This is equal to B. B is x. In bracket, you have 1 plus I, which is your interest rate. So this is the interest rate. You close your bracket to the power of n. Remember, n is going to be multiplied by 4 because this is compounded quarterly. Okay, so now what you are going to do is to drop x on both sides of the equal sign. Okay, you are going to drop x on both sides of the equal sign. When you drop x, you are going to have 2. This is equal to, you drop x, you are going to have in bracket. So let's see what this is equal to in the bracket. So you have 1 plus this 0.085 over 4. This is equal to this. Okay, this is not rounded off. Make sure you avoid rounding off for now. Okay, because if you round off for now, it's going to affect your answer. Okay, for now, avoid rounding off. Okay, so in bracket you have 1.02125. Okay, you close your bracket to the power of 4n. Okay, this is 4n, right? Now, you need to solve for n. Okay, you have 4n as the exponent. Okay, what you can do is to introduce log on both sides. Or you can go straight away. You take your exponent. The exponent is equal to log of, this is your base. You can see this is written as a base. Okay, this is written as a base. You're going to write it as a base. It will be log of whatever you have on the other side. Okay, what was written as a base, write it as a base. Okay, it will be log of what you have on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, log of 2 to base 1.02125. Okay, you can see 1.02125 was written as a base, and you're still going to write it as a base. Okay, you can see that. Remember that what was written as a base, write it as a base. Okay, now you can see you have log of whatever you have on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, log of 2 to this base. Okay, what was written as a base, write it as a base. Okay, now let's carry on. You are going to divide by 4 on both sides of the equal sign. When you divide by 4, you are going to have n. N is equal to, you are going to divide this by 4. Okay, let's use our calculator. I'm going to use my emulator. So I have log, I'm going to use this, log of 2 to base 1.02125. Okay, log of 2, like this, over 4, because we are trying to solve for n. So over 4, this is equal to 8.24 years. Okay, remember, when you divide by 4, the answer will be in years. Okay, when you divide by 4, the answer will be in years. So the final answer is n is equal to 8.24 years. Okay, this is the final answer to question 7.1. Now let's move on to question 7.2. Okay, 7.2. A company purchased machinery for 500,000 rand. After 5 years, the machinery was sold for 180,000 rand and new machinery was bought. Okay, 7.2.1. Calculate the rate of depreciation of the old machinery over the 5 years using the reducing balance method. This question is 4 marks. So these are the keywords that you have to check: depreciation, and you have reducing balance method. Okay, reducing balance method, meaning you are going to use the compound decay formula. Okay, 7.2 and 7.2.1, you are going to use this formula. You can see you don't have plus, you have minus. Okay, because you have depreciation. Okay, and you have reducing balance method. So you are going to use the compound decay formula. Okay, so now the initial value was 500,000 rand. Okay, so this is your B, and the final value was 180,000 rand. Okay, this is your final value, which is A, and N is equal to 5 years. Okay, so you have your initial, which is 500,000 rand, and your final, which is 180,000 rand, and N is equal to 5 years. Now the question is to calculate the rate of depreciation. Okay, calculate the rate of depreciation of the old machinery over the 5 years. You can see the price depreciate from 500,000 to 180,000. You can see the price depreciate. Okay, the price depreciate. You can see that from 500,000 to 180,000. Now we are going to use this formula. Let's plug everything that we have into the formula. Okay, so A is equal to this. This is equal to P. P is equal to this. In bracket, you have 1 minus I, close the bracket, to the power of N. N is equal to 5. Now, if you can find I, you are going to find the rate of depreciation. Okay, so you are going to divide by 500,000 on both sides so that you can have this alone. Okay, so 180,000 divided by 500,000, this is equal to, let's see, we can simplify things. Okay, 180,000 divided by 500,000. Okay, this is equal to 9/25. Okay, we can write it as a fraction, or we can write it as a decimal. Okay, as a decimal, you have 0.36. Okay, 0.36. Let's write it as a decimal. Okay, 0.36. Let's carry on. This is equal to when you divide this side by 500,000, you are going to remain with this. Now, you have to get rid of the 5, which is the exponent. Okay, you are going to take the fifth root on both sides. Okay, the fifth root on both sides. Right, the fifth root on both sides, so that you can get rid of this 5, which is the exponent. Okay, so what you do on the right, you also do it on the left. Okay, let's see what we can get on the left. When you take the fifth root of what you have on the left, okay, 0.36, you're going to have this. Okay, so this looks like it is rounded off. Okay, let's avoid this. Okay, we don't want to round off for now. Okay, so we are going to leave it like this so that we don't affect our final answer. Okay, this is equal to, you get rid of this. Now you have 1 minus I. Okay, so this is what you have. You are going to take this minus I to the left. Okay, you can take it to the left. Minus I to the left. You have I is equal to 1. You still have 1 on the right. You take this to the right. Now you have minus fifth root of this. Okay, 0.36. When you take this to the right, now it becomes minus I is equal to, plug this in your calculator and let's see what the answer is. Okay, so you have 1 minus the fifth root of 0.36. This is equal to this. Okay, 0.1848. Okay, and this is equal to, the rate is equal to, you multiply by 100 so that you can get your answer in percentage. You're going to have 18.48. Okay, 18.48%. Now let's move on. Now it's question 7.2.2. Okay, 7.2.2. The rate of inflation for the cost of the new machinery is 6.3% per annum over the 5 years. What will the new machinery cost at the end of 5 years? When they talk about rate of inflation, you know they are talking about an increase in prices. So you are going to use the compound interest formula. Okay, whenever they are talking about rate of inflation, you are going to use the compound interest formula. Okay, so this is the formula to use. P is equal to 500,000 rand. This is the initial price. The interest rate is equal to 6.3% per annum. You are going to divide by 100, or you can leave it as 6.3%. Okay, let's divide by 100. You are going to have 0.063. And N is equal to 5 years. Let's plug everything into the formula. So you are going to have A is equal to this. In bracket, you have 1 plus I. This is I. You close your bracket to the power of N. N is equal to 5. So A is equal to, let's see. Let's use our calculator. I'm going to use my emulator. So I have this. So this is the price. You can see 678, 678, 635, 635, 11 cents. Okay, you can see there is an increase in price. Okay, so this is what? This is the inflation. The inflation is the increase in price. Okay, so this is the final answer to question 7.2.2. Okay. Okay, we're still on question 7. Let me get the question. Question 7 from May-June 2022. This is the question. Question 7, okay, from May-June 2022. Now we are going to answer question 7.2.3. Okay, 7.2.3. Okay, let's start from here. A company purchased machinery for 500,000 rand. After 5 years, the machinery was sold for 180,000 rand and the new machinery was bought. Okay, 7.2.3. The company set up a sinking fund and made the first payment into this fund on the day the old machinery was bought. Okay, the last payment was made 3 months before the new machinery was purchased at the end of the 5 years. The interest earned on the sinking fund was 10.25% per annum compounded monthly. The money from the sinking fund and the 180,000 rand from the sale of the old machinery was used to pay for the new machinery. Calculate the monthly payment into the sinking fund. 5 marks. Okay, the sinking fund is actually the extra amount of money that company needs so that they can afford the new machinery. The new machinery does not cost 500,000 anymore. Because of rate of inflation, the price went up. Okay, so the sinking fund is equal to the price of the new one, which is no longer 500,000. Remember, the price went up. Okay, because of inflation, the price of goods and services went up. Remember from question 7.2.2, we calculated the new price of the machinery. The price went up, right? It was this. Okay, from 7.2.2, the price went up. It's no longer 500,000. The price went up. They sold the old one and they got 180,000. So we need to find out the extra amount of money that is needed on top of this so that we can have this and then we can afford to buy the new machinery. So we are going to take this minus what they have. This is equal to, you are going to get this when you plug this in your calculator. So this is what they need on top of this 180,000 rand. They need this amount on top of this so that they can afford to buy the new machinery which cost this amount. So this is the sinking fund, which is the extra amount of money needed on top of this. So we are going to use the future value formula. Okay, so this is the future value. F is equal to this. Okay, so this is the future value. They have this, they want this, so that they can afford to buy this. You are also given another piece of information. You are told that the interest earned on the sinking fund was this. Okay, so I is equal to 10.25% divided by 100. This is 0.1025. Okay, divide by 100 and then divide by 12 because this is compounded monthly. Okay, let's carry on. Now we are going to draw a timeline so that we can have an idea of what is happening. Okay, we are going to draw a timeline. Always try to draw a timeline so that we can have an idea of what is happening. Okay, so this is our timeline. When you read the question, the company set up a sinking fund and made the first payment into this fund on the day the old machinery was bought. So when they bought the old machinery, which costed 500,000, they started saving some amount of money so that they can use that amount of money in future to buy a new machinery. Okay, the same day the old machinery was bought, they made the first payment. Okay, the same day the old machinery was bought, they made the first payment. When we are using future value formula or present value formula, payments are made after 1 month. Okay, after 1 month. That is the normal way. Okay, after 1 month, like this, you make your first payment, and then after 1 month, you make your second payment, and then after 1 month, you make your third payment. But in this situation, you have the first payment is made the same day the old machinery was bought. Okay, the same day. Okay, this is the normal way. Okay, when using future value formula and present value formula, this is the normal way. But in this situation, the first payment is made the same day the old machinery was bought. Okay, so we are going to see how we can count the number of payments. Now, when you carry on, you're also going to see that the last payment was made 3 months before the new machinery was purchased at the end of the 5 years. Remember, in 5 years, you have 60 months. Okay, 12 times 5 is equal to 60. Okay, so you have this. This is 5 years. Okay, so the last payment was made 3 months before the new machinery was purchased. Okay, so the new machinery was purchased today. The new machinery was purchased at the end of 5 years. So you can also see that the old machinery, this one, was sold after 5 years. Okay, after 5 years, the machinery was sold. Okay, so you have it there, it is purchased, and then after 5 years, the old machinery was sold. Okay, this is what you are told. You don't need to show all this information, okay? But I'm trying my best so that you can understand this question. Okay, so when you check, the last payment was made 3 months before the new machinery was purchased at the end of 5 years. Okay, the new machinery is purchased at the end of 5 years, and now you have the last payment made 3 months before they purchased this. So you are going to have 59, and then 58, and then 57. Okay, 3 months. You have the last payment which is made. Okay, the last payment was made 3 months before the new machinery was purchased. Okay, I hope you understand so far. So you can see payments are made starting from there up until 57. Okay, now you have the money is left in the account. The money is left in the account for 3 months. Okay, so you have 3 months there. The money is left in the account for 3 months. And then at the end of 5 years, the money is taken out plus this amount, this 180,000, so that they can purchase this. Okay, so they want to achieve this at the end of 5 years. Plus this, they are going to afford to buy this. Okay, so this is equal to 3 months, right? N is equal to 3 months. Okay, the money is left for 3 months, growing. Okay, let's carry on. Now, the number of payments. You don't have 57. You have the first payment, which is not made the normal way. The first payment is not made the normal way. The normal way, when you're using future value formula and present value formula, the normal way, payments are made after 1 month. But in this situation, the first payment was made the same day. Okay, the same day the old machinery was purchased. So how many payments do you have? N is equal to 1 payment first, right? 1 payment first, and then 57 payments. Okay, so plus 57 payment. This is equal to 58 payment. Okay, I hope you can see that. You have the normal payment, 57, plus this one, which is made immediately. Okay, so you are going to use the future value formula for this part. For 58 payment, regular payments are made. You are going to use the future value formula, this, and then that money is left into the account for 3 months. Okay, you are going to multiply by this. This is from the compound interest formula. Okay, your N, this N is equal to 3 months, and this n is equal to 58. Okay, I hope you understand why we are multiplying by this, because the money is left to grow for 3 months. Okay, you have to multiply by this. This is from the compound interest formula. Okay, now let's carry on. We are going to plug everything that we have into the formula so that we can solve for the monthly payment into the sinking fund. Okay, this is what the company wants to achieve at the end of 5 years. Okay, let me close this. So let's plug everything into the formula. F is equal to this, the future value, what they want to achieve in the future in 5 years. Okay, this is equal to, you plug everything into the formula, you have this. Okay, we are looking for X, the monthly payment. X is equal to, you're going to take this times this, you bring it to the top. Okay, this, and then you have this, you bring it to the bottom. So over this, you bring it to the bottom. Okay, this. Okay, this was at the top, you bring it to the bottom. X is equal to, let's see, okay, so this is the final answer to question 7.2.3. Okay, so we are done with question 7 from May-June 2022. Okay, until next time, I will talk to you soon.